All right, so did we do this one or no?
No.
Okay, let's start there then. We did. I think we did. We not?
I don't know.
You
I
did
don't
that
remember.
one. We didn't do
Okay, cool. Let's start with the second one then. So it says write a linear equation for the table shown. And so basically what it is we need to find the slope of this. So what I want you to do first, without my assistance, I want you to find the slope of this table. That's all I want you to do. Just find the slope. Again, you have multiple methods. You can use the calculator or you can use the formula. It does not matter to me. We just need to find the slope.
In the calculator, does the x values go in the first column, or does y values go in the first column?
The x value goes in the first column. X values go in the first column. Okay, does anybody have my slope today? Katie? 2, do we agree?
I got negative.
Negative, negative. Katie? Negative 2? Well, let's just take a look here. What's happening to my y's? Are they going down or are they going up? They're going down, which means it's got to be a negative, right? Does that make sense, Katie? What do you mean, kind of? It's going down, so that means it's got to be represented by something going down, right?
Does y?
Next part says find the y-intercept. Is the y-intercept given to me?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's got to be a negative 4. So then it says plug in the m and b into your slope-intercept form. So if I plug them in, what would that look like? Y is equal to what x? Negative 2x plus what? Is everybody okay with writing that equation that way?
It's not negative 2. The y is going up. It's going up. And the calculator says it's a positive 2.
Oh yeah, because it's going from negative to positive.
There you go. Stand up for yourself, though. Advocate. Argue with me. Hey, I think I'm right all the time. Doesn't mean I am, though. If you don't agree, you got to argue with me. Okay? Positive 2. So whoever told me negative 2, you're wrong. I don't remember who it was. Ben. Ben. Come on, Ben.
Come on, Ben.
Come on, Ben.
Come on, Ben!
You can do better than this.
We expect more from you, Ben. All right, here we go. Moving on to this next part. Okay, so again, first thing we're going to do from these tables, we're going to find slope. Okay? Find slope of this table. We won't ask Ben what it is this time. We'll ask someone like Katie who knows what they're doing. Find me the slope of this table.
Both of them or just the first?
Just the first one. Just the first one. Again, I don't care if you use the calculator. I don't care if you use the formula. Either way works for me. Abby, what'd you get? Do we agree? Can we trust Abby, or do we need to get a second, third opinion? Carter says we can't trust her. Can somebody else verify that it's 4? Oh, you said we could trust her? All right, it's 4. It's 4. Okay. Anybody unsure of how we're getting 4? Does anybody need me to explain that process again, or are we okay to move on?
No, we're okay to move on.
I'm sorry.
No, ask your question, man.
I still don't get it, so. I just don't get how you got 4. Like,
Okay, well, there's 2 methods. You can use this formula. Okay, so then I'm going to have 13 minus 5 over 4 minus 2. So it's 8 over 2 is equal to 4. Okay? Okay, do I have a y-intercept on here?
No.
I do not have a y-intercept. So here's what I want you to begin doing. I know some of you have it in the calculator. I'm okay with that. If you are confident in the calculator and you can find the y-intercept, great, leave it there. But what I want you to also understand is what to do when you don't have it. We're always going to be using this formula until next week when I teach you a new one. Y equals mx plus b. I have enough to fill in this problem. What does my m equal?
4.
You already found that. Everybody but Ben knows how to do that. Ben, I'm just kidding. I know you know how to do it now. So I'm going to plug in a 4 here. Do I have a y and an x value? Yeah, guys, you have 5 of them. You can pick them. I don't care which one you pick. So I'm going to plug them in. 5 equals 4 times 2, but do I have a b value?
No.
So guess what? You just solve for b. It's just an equation now. Does everybody understand how I put this together?
Yes, sir.
4 times 2 is what?
8.
-3 equals b.
So the answer is
So if I wanted to write this equation out in slope-intercept form, y equals 4x minus 3. Are we okay with that? All right, so Brian's question was, do we plug in one of the y values? Well, this formula right here, Brian, is implying that I could get this table. So we want to leave it kind of open because the x and the y's are going to be different points on the line. So depending on what point you're looking for, depending on what point you need, would determine that. Does that make sense? Okay. Any other questions on that?
no, sir.
Thank you, Bennett. I appreciate that. Makes me feel like I'm doing a good job teaching. Whether I am or not, still to be determined.
Cool.
All right, here we go. Graph the equation in slope-intercept form. So let me ask you this question. What is the slope of this line?
2x.
Not 2x. Can anybody tell me why it's not 2x? Why, Katie?
Because the slope is 2 and the x is
The x is an ordered pair, right? So the x is going to change based off what part of the line I'm looking at. Your slope is that individual number. The x and the y are ordered pairs. Got it? Okay. What's the y-intercept of this? Charger? 1, right? All right. How many of you guys think you could graph this? I'm just curious. I just want to know kind of a feel. Okay. Well, let me show you how to graph it. I'm going to start at 0, 1. Because that's my y-intercept. Are we all okay with why I'm starting at that point?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to go up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. Are we okay with that?
Yes.
Now if I wanted to go the opposite way, I'm going to go down 2 over 1. Down 2 over 1. Down 2 over 1. Now ladies and gentlemen, I've created this nice, neat line. Are we okay with that? Now let's just say that Ben, in his infinite wisdom, is still hating on us and does not believe we're doing this correctly. And Ben says, Mr. Paver, that is not a point on that line, you are crazy. And I said, well, Ben, you don't even know how to find slope, so what are you talking about? And we get in this bantering argument, he says, prove it. I said, all right, Ben, I'll prove it. So I'm going to take this equation, and I can pick any of these dots that I put on this line. Any of them. This one, this one, this one, this one, or something in between, it doesn't matter. But I'm going to choose this one right here. This is going to be 1 at 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if I did this correctly, now I'm starting to get a little nervous because I called Ben out that I'm going to mess up on this. But if I take that 2 and that 5 and I plug it into this equation, it should make the equation true. Just like we done the last problem. So for instance, we're going to take 5 is equal to 2 times 2 plus 1. So again, I plugged in the 5 from my point. The 2 is my slope. The x is the 2 from my point. And the 1 is my y-intercept. Are we all okay with that?
Yes.
And then I tell Ben, booyah.
Ha!
Does that make sense how we're making that work? Do you see how all of these things are very, very, very integral and they all play a part in doing these processes together?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's just graph this next one real quick. Can somebody tell me where my y-intercept is going to be on this next equation? Where my y-intercept is, Colin?
negative 2.
-2. And Bennett, can you tell me where my slope is or what it is?
Got a -2 over 3. No, 2 over 3. -2 over 3.
We're gonna have to start changing Ben to Bennett if we can't get questions right. Ben, you know I'm just totally playing with you, right? I know you understand it. I'm just giving you a hard time. Okay. Just want to make sure that you don't like go home and tell your mom and then she calls me and get yelled at. I don't want that. All right, so for the y-intercept, we're going to start at -2. But let me ask you this. I've only given -2. What is the x value for my y-intercept? 4?
No.
What do you think, guys?
0.
It's always 0. When we're dealing with a y-intercept, it's always, always, always 0. So that means that my y-intercept has to be here at 0, -2. Does that make sense? Okay, now, with that, is this a positive or a negative slope? How do you know? There's a negative sign there. Remember when I tried to embarrass Katie and I was like, well, it's going down, and she was like, no, it's not. Again, if it's negative, it has to go down. So here's what that means. I'm going to start at this point. I'm going to go down 2 over 3. It's the exact opposite direction because remember my line has to be going down. So let me continue this process. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go up 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Up 2, 1, 2, 3. Does everybody see that? The negative changes the way your line goes. The negative changes it up completely. It's a totally different problem at that point. It's got to go the opposite direction. Does that make sense though? Okay. This last problem that we have, this is similar to the problems at the end of your assignment from yesterday. Remember question 25 and 26, the one that I told you not to worry about that we would go over? This is the exact same thing, okay? Notice that my equation is not in slope-intercept form. Can we agree with that?
Yes.
This is actually just in a unique form. It doesn't have a title. This is just a random problem. But with that being said, do we have the skills as an Algebra 1 class to convert this to slope-intercept form?
No.
Bennett says no?
Oh, stop looking on autopilot.
Well, you don't even believe us.
I believe in you.
I'm a little bit confused.
Okay, well, let me ask you this, Bennett. What is slope-intercept form?
Let me go read it from my notes.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Slope-intercept form is amazing.
Y equals mx plus b. So here's my question. Can you get y by itself?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's figure it out. So 4y minus 8 equals 2x. All right, Bennett, you're on the hot seat here.
Okay.
What do I need to do to get the y by itself?
Add 8.
Yeah, good. Add 8 to both sides. So now I've got 4y equals 2x plus 8. Oh my gosh. It's looking mighty close to slope-intercept form. Can you finish this, Bennett, or do we need to find somebody else to do it? All right, what do I do next? Divide by 4. Do you guys notice that I'm dividing everything by 4? Do you understand I'm dividing everything by 4 because math is a fair subject, and if we don't do that, then we're rude. We can't be that way. Y equals 2 over 4x plus 2. What's wrong with this equation? It's almost done, but there's one major issue. Addison? Good. So now it's got to be y equals 1 over 2x plus 2. Are we okay with that?
Sure.
Let me ask you this. Can I graph that?
Yes.
Okay. Where's my y-intercept going to be, Stone?
It's gonna be, it's gonna be 0, 2.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you for saying that correctly. I appreciate that. Everybody good with that?
Sure.
Okay, Carter, do I have a positive or a negative slope?
Positive.
So that means I'm going to rise up 1 over 2. Rise up 1 over 2. Rise up 1 over 2. Down 1 over 2. Down 1 over 2. Down 1 over 2. And ladies and gentlemen, you've created a line. Thank you. I'll be here all week. I'll be here tomorrow and Friday. I'll take the weekends off to recover, but I'll be back next Monday. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and stop our recording.